Hola amigos, ¿cómo estás? Espero que todos estén bien. Welcome to my channel Hola amigos, me llamo Ekta. So today also I come with very helpful, interesting and important topic for you guys, wherein I will help you and tell you about the words related to family. First of all, family is known as familia in Spanish, ¿vale? And members of family is known as miembros de la familia, ¿vale? So in my today's session, I will let you know what we call father in Spanish, what we call mother in Spanish, daughter, son, daughter-in-law, grandson, grandfather. So all this I will cover in my today's video, and in later part of session I will also let you know what sort of questions somebody can ask from you guys, and after watching that video you will be able to answer those sort of questions. Vale, vamos a empezar. So first one is father. So father we call it out as padre in Spanish. Padre. Vale. Mother, madre. Madre. Brother, hermano. Hermano. Sister, hermana. Hermana. Then your father-in-law we call it out as suegro. Suegro. Mother-in-law we call it out as suegra. Suegra. Vale. Then brother-in-law we call it out as cuñado. Cuñado. Daughter-in-law we call it out as cuñada. Cuñada. Grandfather we call it out as abuelo. Abuelo. Grandmother we call it out as abuela. Abuela. Vale. Then son we call it out as hijo. Hijo. Daughter we call it out as hija. Hija. Vale. Then husband we call it out as esposo. Esposo or marido. Marido. Wife we call it out as esposa. Esposa or mujer. Vale. Then great grandfather we call it out as bisabuelo. Bisabuelo. Great grandmother we call it out as bisabuela. Bisabuela. Vale. Then grandson we call it out as nieto. Nieto. Granddaughter we call it out as nieta. Nieta. Vale. Then uncle we call it out as tío. Tío. Vale. And aunt we call it out as tía. Tía. Muy bien. Great uncle we call it out as tío abuelo. Tío abuelo. Great aunt we call it out as tía abuela. Great aunt we call it out as tía abuela. Vale. Then male cousin we call it out as primo. Primo. And female cousin we call it out as prima. Prima. Then nephew we call it out as sobrino. Sobrino. Then niece we call it out as sobrina. Sobrina. Vale. Then stepfather we call it out as padrastro. Padrastro. Vale. Then stepmother we call it out as madrastra. Madrastra. Vale. Muy bien. Then stepson we call it out as hijastro. Hijastro. Stepdaughter we call it out as hijastra. Hijastra. Stepbrother we call it out as hermanastro. Next one is stepsister. Stepsister we call it out as hermanastra. Hermanastra. Then male friend we call it out as amigo. Amigo. Female friend we call it out as amiga. Amiga. Then boyfriend we call it out as novio. Novio. Girlfriend we call it out as novia. Novia. Son-in-law we call it out as yerno. Son-in-law we call it out as yerno. Daughter-in-law we call it out as nuera. Nuera. Fiance we call it out as prometido. 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 See we call it out as prometida. Prometida. Vale. Then widow we call it out as viuda. Viuda. Divorcee we call it out as divorciado or divorciada. Breakup we call it out as ruptura. Now I will help you out with what sort of question somebody can ask from you. Vale. Por ejemplo, ¿cómo se llama tu madre? What is your mother's name? ¿Vale? ¿Cuántos años tiene tu hermana? How old is your sister? ¿Tienes hijos? ¿Tienes hijos? Do you have children? ¿Tu familia es grande o pequeña? Is your family big or small? ¿Vives con tu familia? ¿Vives con tu familia? Do you live with your family? ¿Cuántas personas hay en tu familia? ¿Cuántas personas hay en tu familia? How many people are in your family? ¿Tu hermana es menor or mayor que tú? Is your sister younger or older than you? ¿Estás divorciado? Are you divorced? ¿Qué hace tu novio? Or ¿qué hace tu esposo? What does your boyfriend do or what does your husband do? ¿Vale? Then, ¿qué impacto tiene el divorcio en los niños? What impact does divorce have on children? ¿Cómo puedo superar una ruptura? How can I get over a breakup? So these are the some of questions somebody can ask from you related to family, related to breakup, related to divorce. With the help of these sessions, you will be able to frame out the answers for these questions. I'll request you to watch these videos and try to jot down answers for these questions. In case anybody has any sort of questions, then you can mention in my comment box. I will be soon coming with my next video. Until then, see you soon. Adios.